Imagine this. You get $84,600 every morning when you wake up. But if you don't use it, it's gone. What are you going to do? You're probably going to find a way to use it up, right? Maybe you'll spend it on a lavish meal. Maybe you'll buy something nice for yourself. Whatever it is, you're going to find a way to make the most out of it. Now, convert that $84,600 into seconds. That's how much time you get in one day. Remember that time doesn't roll over in a bank account. Lately, I've been trying to be more intentional about my time. And not just being more productive, but because I don't want to look back on my life and feel like it's been a constant cycle of going to sleep, waking up to work, scrolling on my phone, and repeat.
So after a long day of work, and I'm extremely guilty of this too, but it's extremely easy to just end up on your couch and keep doom scrolling or watching your TV for hours and hours, and that's completely fine. Decompression is really, really important and you completely deserve it. However, you might think that you're just scrolling on your phone for 30 minutes, but oftentimes it ends up in 3 hours on Reddit, and that might not be how you want to spend your evenings. What I realized is that spending so much time on my phone doesn't actually recharge me, but I end up feeling numb and detached. One helpful tip I learned is to actually set a timer of 30 minutes or 45 minutes because all of us deserve that relaxation time. And then right after that, you should get moving and do something. It doesn't even have to be something productive, something as simple as getting up to water your plants or filling up your water bottle. As long as you get up, it's a gear switch. That's the easiest way to feel like your evening isn't just slipping away from you scrolling on your phone.
I can honestly say I've never regretted working out. There have been so many times where I found it really difficult to get to the workout itself. However, after every single workout, I have genuinely never regretted it, no matter how unwilling or tired I was before the workout. In general, it's also just a really great way to shake off any of that post-work sluggishness that you might feel, and it might feel like the most comfortable and easy thing to do to just slink into your couch or into your bed and watch TV or scroll on your phone. But you'll find that the hardest part is really just putting on your workout clothes and getting out of the house and going for that workout. And if you're anything like me, a lot of the times my mind is filled with so much noise, and going to the gym and just being on a treadmill or lifting some weights or even just going for a walk, it really takes a lot of that noise out of your mind when you're able to sweat and just work out and just work on your physical health. So it's a really big win-win.
I'd say one of the biggest mindset shifts I've made is from being a thinker to a doer. I used to get stuck in thought paralysis mode where I would be overthinking what I actually wanted to do after a long day of work or during a weekend. I would think to myself, do I want to go out to eat? Do I want to buy groceries and cook? If so, what do I actually want to cook? And I would spend 45 minutes or more just purely deciding on those things. Actually, just doing the action is way better than just thinking on it, because even if it doesn't feel like it's the perfect thing or the best use of your time, at least at the end of the day, you'll be happy that you actually did something instead of just thinking about it. Make doing more of a habit, and once you get in the habit of doing, you'll find that you're accomplishing a lot more, even if a lot of those things might not seem perfect. Make sure you know what your priorities are. A lot of the times we go through our day-to-day and it feels like you're on autopilot, but you never actually stop to think, what do I actually care about and what am I interested in? Oftentimes our days get filled with the easy things, the things that we do by default, right? Like working or scrolling on your phone or taking a shower, watching TV, going to sleep, because those are all things that are easily accessible that we don't actually have to think about. But if you really think about what you prioritize, try to build your schedule around that. For me, I really wanted to prioritize bringing back up my YouTube channel, and I really prioritized making videos and making sure that I was on top of a certain schedule for releasing those videos. I've also been really prioritizing time with my friends and family, because a lot of the times those can be limited and everyone's in different stages of their life. So I really appreciate and value the time with those people too. Instead of always thinking that one day I'll be able to do this, or when the moment is right, I'll be able to do that, Seize the moment and build your schedule around what you prioritize now. Let's talk about to-do lists. And not the 30-item dumps where you don't even have time to go through them all or the mental capacity to check through every chore or task on that list and it's actually unachievable. I mean a running list of feel-good things that you've been meaning to do. Maybe it's something like cleaning out your closet and donating a pile of clothes. Maybe it's watching that movie that you've been meaning to watch but haven't had a chance to. Maybe it's visiting a new museum in the city. Keep a running list on your phone so that when it finally comes to the evening and you're finished with work, you're not spending time thinking about what you actually want to do, but you have a list of things that you already feel like you would love doing and that you've been wanting to do. It's as simple as just opening the Notes app on your phone or starting up a Microsoft Word doc on your laptop and just writing down a list of those things. Those tasks can be anywhere from 5 minutes or 2 hours. The most important thing is that you're trying to check off 1 or 2 of those things every day. And as long as you're able to keep that up for a couple of days, it's going to create a lot of momentum and you're going to feel like you don't actually have to be a superhero to do all of those things. You know what they say when they say to save the best for last? I think that applies to your free time too. Because you want to tackle all the annoying stuff first, like for example, doing your chores. What I like to do is I set aside 15 minutes and I like to just sprint and do all the chores I can, and I like to pretend like someone's coming over soon. You'll be surprised how much you can declutter or clean within 15 minutes if you really sprint. I think it's really important to do this at the start of an evening or at the start of the weekend just to get it out of the way, because even if you think that you're relaxing and just on your phone or chilling on the couch, you still have the mental burden of having a list of chores to do. And once you spend 15 minutes doing all of that, you can just relax. Just step outside, whether it's for 5 minutes or 2 hours, it doesn't really matter because a lot of the times you just need an environment shift. For me, at least, I work from home a lot, so when I'm just in the apartment, I can feel a lot more sluggish and it can be easy to get in the routine of saying, oh, I already have my pajamas on and I'm freshly showered and I want to just stay in bed. But a lot of the times you'll feel so much more refreshed and energized just by having some fresh air outside, hearing other people talk and laugh, and just being in a more busy environment outside. And I promise you, when you step out of the house, you don't even have to do anything especially productive or special. A lot of the times I like to just walk around and wander around aimlessly and maybe put on a song or just people watch. It reminds me that there's a world outside of my apartment, outside of my laptop screen, and you'll be surprised how much energy you get just from taking a short 5-minute walk outside. If you find that you're completely drained at the end of the workday, sometimes you're not the problem, the work is. No matter how much you try to make the most out of your personal time, it's no use if other things like your job are just burning you out. There's no magic switch that you can turn on to suddenly get all of your energy back. So what's the fix? It's not about quitting your job or slacking off or just being a worse employee in general. It's about creating better boundaries and learning when to say yes and when to say no. You need to be able to create some emotional distance from work. I'm extremely guilty of letting something from work affect me, and then it's on my mind all day, even after work. However, this creates a really big mental burden on you, and it's because you're really emotionally attached to work, and it's really hard not to be. However, you have to realize that your personal worth isn't entangled with how quickly you respond to a Slack message, how many fire drills you jump on and are able to complete, how much FaceTime you have with your manager. Because for every task that you say yes to at work, it's less mental capacity that you have for yourself, and it's time that you're giving up that you could be spending with friends and family, or time that you could be spending on yourself. So the next time you feel like that you can't really rally any energy after work to do anything because you're so tired, try not to blame it on your own laziness or bad habits, but look more upstream and think about what you can actually change at work to make your life better. Say no to those quick to-dos and messages that are supposedly urgent but actually aren't.
Say no to those last-minute meetings because you have an appointment or lunch already scheduled during those times. Protecting your energy isn't being selfish. It's actually very strategic because you're showing up for yourself in your own life, and it also prevents you from being burnt out. So those are 8 things that I did to stop feeling like I'm wasting my evenings. It's not about being perfectly productive with your time. It's about being intentional with it. I'm still guilty of spending hours just scrolling on TikTok in bed. However, I will say that more nights than not, I go to bed feeling like I actually was intentional about my day and did something that I enjoy and I'm actually proud of. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one and go enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.